Today we're going to talk about walking iron. This is a fundamental and high risk part of our job. It's something we do every day, but it's easy to become complacent. A moment of inattention can have serious consequences. So let's take a few minutes to review some best practices to ensure we all stay safe and go home at the end of the day. Number one is always maintain 100% tie off. This is the golden rule. Before you ever step foot on a piece of steel, you need to be tied off. Your fall protection system is your lifeline. This means you're going to have to inspect your gear before each use. Your lanyard, your harness, all your connections, look for frays, tears, damage, burns, all the things that cause a personal fall arrest system to potentially fail. Then secure your anchor point. Ensure your anchor point can support at least 5,000 pounds. Also, pre-plan your moves. Think about where you're going and where you're going to retie before you start walking. You don't want to get caught in a position where you're going to have to untie without having a new anchor in place already. Then, two, the 3 points of contact rule. When you are walking on the iron, when it's possible, use 3 points of contact. This means 2 feet and 1 hand on the steel or 2 hands and 1 foot on the steel. This does provide maximum stability and balance, especially when moving between connections or over obstacles. Use your hands for additional stability and to maintain your balance. When you are connecting, the 3 points of contact may be much more difficult, may not be possible, but it's useful under many circumstances. 3, stay focused and eliminate distractions. Walking steel requires your complete focus. There's no room for daydreaming or distractions, which means no phone calls, no texting. It's generally a good idea to avoid carrying tools in your hands. Use your frog, that is your spud wrench holder. Use your bags. Your hands are for balance and stability. Also, communicate with your partner. Make sure your connecting partner knows where you are, where you're going, and what your next move is. Then assess and manage hazards. Every steel member is a potential hazard. Always be aware of your surroundings. Remember the 4 points of situational awareness: observation, orientation, decision, and action. This means observe what's all around you, including above you and below you. Orientate yourself so that you know where your hazards are. Decide what your next move should be and what is the best action for you to take to accomplish your work safely and efficiently. Then act on what you have observed and in relation to where you are orientated. This will bring you to a place where you're ready to make a new observation, which begins a new situational awareness cycle. Also be aware of weather conditions. Rain, ice, high winds can make walking iron extremely dangerous. If the conditions are unsafe, we have to reassess whether we're going to be able to continue working. Slippery surfaces. Look for oil, grease, or paint on the beams. Scrape it off or find an alternate path. Unstable members. Be cautious of members that have just been set and aren't fully secured. Make sure they're properly bolted or welded before you walk on them, especially joists. Look where you're going also. Watch for shear studs, connection plates, or any other tripping hazards. Then always be mindful of your footwear. Proper footwear is important. Your boots are your primary interface with the steel. Flat-soled construction boots give you a better grip. They enhance your ability to feel where your foot is in relation to the steel. We all have our favorite brands, so make sure that you have a good flat-soled pair of boots to walk iron with. Also, keep your treads clean. If you want to be able to successfully manage without having stuff between you and the iron, then make sure your treads get cleaned up so that you're not walking with oil or grease or mud on the bottom of them. In conclusion, walking iron is a skill that comes with experience, but these are some of the best practices that should be a constant part of that skill. Take a moment before you walk to plan your route. Check your tie off and your focus. We are all in this together, and so we need to look out for each other. If you see something unsafe, say something so we can all go home safely at the end of the day.